All right. I want to really scramble around 2008. I'm sorry for some people, but it's a lot of events that happened that year. That's why I scramble around, because they just sort of emerge in my mind. So first, I want to tell you about the 2008 election. I wouldn't have been able to vote, but some of you guys on here were able to vote. It's okay if you voted for McCain. It's okay, because I was reading in my book. There was a president who was a prisoner of war. That was McCain didn't win, obviously. There's one president that was a prisoner of war. I believe it's Kennedy. I gotta research it, but I guess I'm reading now, so I'm learning my little fun facts, my little trivia every day. But I'm thinking maybe it was Kennedy, because Kennedy did serve in the I forgot which branch of our government he served in when he volunteered. I don't remember, but it most likely was Kennedy. But if you voted for a prisoner of war, that's fine, you know, because I honestly, I wouldn't have voted for none of them looking back. And I want to just throw this in here too. Donald Trump supported Hillary Clinton when he went at Barack Obama. But back to the election. That was really big in our household. We had a Barack Obama Pennsylvania poster in our window. You know what? That shit, I haven't been to my dad's house in years, but that shit probably is still in the house. Cause the first one, the Obama '08 one, it was in the window so long, the color went from blue to sky blue. I mean, you thought like when he said I'm not the president of black people, that shit would have went in the dumpster. It would have been thrown in the fireplace, or it would have been just something to take a shit on for the cat. No, that stayed in the basement for years, and it's probably still there. But Barack Obama, one thing I learned, because my dad, he played around, so the hitting stopped around the end of, like, when I was going on 13, it stopped completely. He just dressed me down. But he got mad when I just said I hope McCain wins, and he got my brother to like wrestle me to the floor because he was telling me, don't say that, son. That makes me upset. I'm like, you probably don't even know what he's trying to do as president. But I want to tell you more about that later, on why he knew he fucked up voting for Obama. But let me just explain this too. We are allegedly, black people are comprised, we're 13% of the population. We make up a little small portion of this country, allegedly, because I think it's a lot more than 13%. I mean, if it's more than, the only reason I think it's more than 13%, because why is it so important when we vote? I mean, Hispanics outnumber us. Why don't they go to Hispanics like they do black people when it comes to voting? It shouldn't really matter about the black vote if we are 13% of the population, but we're 13%. White people voted for Obama 2 times. Our vote would not make a difference if we all voted for him. 98% the first time, 93% second time. It wouldn't matter if we all voted for him. But my dad voted for him, and my mom jokingly said, when we were on the phone in the car, I said, "Mom, are you voting?" And then she was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Who you voting for?" She was like, "Chillery." And my dad heard her on the phone. He was like, "She's not voting for Obama." And I'm laughing at this now because it wouldn't have really made a difference. But the blind support of this guy is just astonishing, man. It really is. Like, when we found out, so we were on the phone. So I wasn't like educated like I am now on just the reality of the Democratic Party. But when McCain lost, so first of all, my dad woke me up probably like a little, I remember it was probably after 10 or going on 11 o'clock. He woke me up out of my sleep, and we all celebrated because Obama won presidency. I wasn't drinking, of course, but we drank apple cider because Obama won. You can hear people outside shooting and pray and yelling and screaming. And that was like a achievement for, to this day. I don't know what we won. It's like when OJ was found not guilty. Somebody tell me what, like Chris Rock said, what the fuck did we win? Where's my OJ Simpson check in the mail? And like they was like, we won. Like, what the fuck did we win? I'm trying to understand that with Obama, because I'm all confused. And my brother went to a predominantly white school, so he was, the joke of the house was they had people at my brother's school that weren't coming to class at all. They were taking like the whole week off. But listen, looking back at that, as much disrespect as they showed the president, let me say this. I don't think 100% of it was about race. Because, let me say this again. They used Obama, they used a black face to push a LGBT movement that black people would not back at all. And that's the point I'm making. Look at all the stuff that he's done as president. Look at all the kids that he's killed, all the Syrian kids that he's killed. Look what he's done to the military. I mean, looking back, I'm thinking they weren't really looking at his race. It was probably more, some were probably looking at his race because they were ignorant, and that's what teenagers do. But some were probably educated on the issues of what he could do as president, and that's why they probably thought they were doomed. But you know, like I said, like my family found 1,000,001 excuses to say how you know, you got to give him a couple years, because Bush is the reason why the economy, while we're in a recession, and they were still talking this mess around the end of his first term. But I got a Barack Obama t-shirt for Christmas by the girlfriend. I never wore it, to be honest. Out of all presidents, I would put him, so I rank it like this. Trump 1, Clinton 2, Bush 3, Obama, and then Biden. The presidents that I you know, was born, the presidents that were around since I've been born, all those presidents I just named, that's how I rank them. Because Obama, I feel like Bush was a lot better than Obama. Like, it's mainly with just the society we're in, a lot of the stuff that goes on today. I feel like he's responsible for just everything from cancel culture to Black Lives Matter to women's, like the stuff that's going on with women, and the fact that they, like, let me say this. I'm not just making this video about what women should do with their body, but I feel like with him as president, he supported things that I feel went against the very community that backed him the most. Not financially, but because I know I sound all over the place right now, but the very community that put the most support in him, you know, believe in God, and they classify themselves as Christians. And this is what I say: how can you support a president who's for gay marriage, abortion, and he didn't support it his first term, but he, like I said, he needed to find support from someone that was the majority, and that was the white gay community, because he knew that white men weren't going to vote for him the second time. He didn't care for our support. But Barack Obama was the big thing of that year. And let me tell you about another crush. Talk about get away from politics. So the Philadelphia Phillies won the World Series. I forgot I was not watching baseball, so I had to research who won the World Series. I mean, who they played against in the World Series, and it was the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, I did not know that originally, years ago. But let me tell you what I did during the parade. So first, anytime there's a parade, I don't recommend driving. Your best, if you live in the city, your best, there was no Uber back then. No one trusts getting a taxi like that. So I think the bus is your best option, or the trolley. So this is what I did. I walked to Fern Rock. I got on the train. Since the parade was going on, I had to get on the local because the express wasn't running. So I took the local to 5th. I got off at, I'm trying to remember. So I got off 15th Street, and I managed to walk to 10th Street where the parade was going on. And let me tell you what else happened. So this really pretty girl who looked like she was in college, she started talking to me. It was a white female who, I know she was a lot older than me, but we basically, it wasn't like very, very long, but we were together on the parade. My face doesn't really look different than I would look at 13. The most is just my hair, but I looked really the same as I did 13. So I don't know her name, I didn't know her age, but I built a little bit of a liking with her because she was nice, for one. She was attractive, and she just gave me attention. And obviously, with her being older, it's not appropriate for me to like ask her to out on a date. That's very inappropriate for her more. But as I was talking with her, we both were happy. I didn't know where she was from, but from everything I know about Philly, white people don't live in the city. White people don't really live in the city. So let me just explain it like this. Anytime you have a city, no matter where it is, like, let's just say, first city that can come to mind is Detroit, right? That's interesting. The guy was urinating near his car. That's why he looked at me. So let me just say this. So if a girl says she's from Detroit, and you ask her, oh, which part? And they'll be like, Highland Park. That's actually like a suburb probably of Detroit, but it's not the city of Detroit. I had a feeling that she's probably out of town, like she's probably from the suburbs, because they're not going to live in the city with all that violence going on. But I was just with her for that period of time. I was with her during the parade. We saw the float go by. We saw the Phillies float. I even got a picture on my flip phone, the one that it's funny. So after a Phillies game, ironically, after a Phillies game that me and my brother and my dad went to, this is when somebody ran from the stands. They left they left their seat. When it rained really bad, they almost wanted to cancel the game. This is 2008. Somebody ran out and tried to run. They were probably drunk. They eventually got arrested, but they ran on the field. So we got soaked in the rain during the game. And I think my dad, my phone was my red flip phone, the Samsung phone that my mom got me. My dad didn't know my fucking phone was in my pants. And he had my phone, and it was a good phone too. He had my phone in the washer, broke my phone. Eventually I got another phone. It wasn't as great as the red phone. It was like a black Sony Ericsson phone. But on the Sony Ericsson phone, I managed to get like footage of the parade, and I had that phone for 3 years. but I really enjoyed the company of that girl. And don't get her twisted. Around this time, I'm not in no way sexual. I still have I have a deep interest for girls, but it's just that I don't know how to talk to them. I don't know how to form relationships with people. I don't know how to do any of those things. So really, all the attention I'm getting from girls is just them showing attention to me, but I'm not aware on how to initiate a conversation or none of those things. I even had a girl at the place I was taking guitar lessons. Don't judge me, but I was taking a sewing class. I don't know why I took that sewing class. I really don't know why, but it was all girls in there. I did not talk to one girl in there because I was so nervous. But I was so nervous around one girl. She even asked me, "Have you ever talked to girls before?" And it was so awkward. I just thought about that right now. But I always had to have a girl be the one to initiate conversation, not really me, because I just didn't know really what to say. But around this time, I don't have no hatred for black women at all. It's just that I understand the distinction between black women and white women. But I don't have access to white women because I'm going to school around my own race. So I'm not really going to know, like I'm not going to talk to white women if I don't have access to them. But one more thing I want to close this with. So I told you guys that I like Church's chicken, and this is going to sound really funny. I love Church's chicken. I love their food. I love the way, well, I don't eat chicken anymore. I'm vegetarian, vegan. I loved Church's chicken, past tense. I loved it, not anymore. I love the honey biscuits. I love the biscuits with the honey on top. I love the breaded, batter on the fried chicken, the breast, the wings, all of it. I love the fries, the crinkle cut fries, and the sides, like the mashed potatoes, the okra, the corn, all that stuff. That artery clogging food. I was supposed to go to orientation for a high school called North Catholic. Now, 2008 is before the opioid epidemic in Philadelphia. 2008. This is before we know Philadelphia for being the heroin capital of the world. So North Catholic is actually in a neighborhood that many people know of as Kensington. When you get off the stop Erie Torresdale, you're in the neighborhood of Kensington. And Kensington is not a good area. I didn't know, at least it wasn't a good area. But I want to go, and let me just explain this. You're going to laugh, but I want to go to this school for a few reasons, and I'm glad. I feel like I wouldn't have avoided this anywhere I went. But one thing was, I wanted to see what it was like to be around nothing but white people, because I never was in a classroom around different races. I liked that idea at first. So I caught the trolley and I caught the L train, but I'm going eastbound to Frankfurt. Instead of going westbound to 69th Street when I get on the I always got on eastbound, but this time I stay on the train. So I get off at Erie Torresdale, and I'm not in fear of the neighborhood at all. And let me just tell you some things that happened that day. So you can tell I'm growing up in this series. So it's going to get a little sexual. Just let me tell you this. So I go to North Catholic for orientation, and I don't really care about the classes. I don't care about the school. I'm going there because I heard, for one, They accept anybody. It doesn't matter what kind of grades you get. They take anybody. But when I arrived there, I don't know if I knew this beforehand, but they have a Church's Chicken right across the street from the school. And that's all I'm thinking about. Like, after class, after school, I'll just go get something to eat at Church's. And that's heaven right there for me. So, like I said, the day was really fun. Let me just tell you this. It was white. It was a lot of white kids there. It was possibly maybe an Hispanic kid. I was really just intrigued by the fact that there were white people there, because I never was around any, and I wanted to see what it was like to be around white people. So, because I'm kind of tired of just being around my own race. I want to be around different groups of people. So that was the first thing. Now let's talk about the sexual part that happened at orientation. And no, I'm not traumatized by this. So I'm 13. I believe this is October or November. It wasn't December, but I'm 13 and I don't really know anything about sex at all. But I am aware that I know what a boner is. That's what I called it at the time. I know what a boner is, because I said boner in 8th grade a couple times. So I don't think nobody says boner anymore. I'm sorry. So it was these two women. They were cleaning the bathroom. They were cleaning the men's bathroom, right? They were on these ladders in the stalls. They were cleaning the bathrooms with like a hose, right? And I come in the bathroom and I'm all like, should I? And they were really attractive too. To describe them for you, because I have a good memory when it comes to people's faces. Picture in your mind, and I'm not exaggerating this at all. Picture in your mind Sofia Vargas with black hair. And picture in your mind, I don't forget the other lady. But I'm I'm using the bathroom. I'm just tell you everything. So I'm using the bathroom. I'm all like, should I leave? And she's like, go ahead, use it. But she's like, she doesn't leave or get out or anything. She's standing up washing the floors and everything. And I sit down. I don't gotta do that. But I sit down and I notice that like she's probably looking at me, whatever. And you know, I'm getting a little excited. And she's still there. So that whole day after that happened, I don't know how long I was in the bathroom, but I just thought about that the whole day. I was like, man, I got a girl to look at me. Probably, I don't know if she looked at me or not, but the fact that I was in the bathroom. I'm 13, by the way. She's probably like a lot older. Because I know it would be disgusting if it was the other way around, but it really helped me. It helped my day go better. I could have ran home and said, Dad, I got good news. They got a Church's Chicken, and a janitor at the school looked at my penis. Like, he was like, what are you saying? He's like, you're never going back there again. But a little spoiler for you. I applied to another school. So I applied to a school called Roman Catholic High School. And I applied to a school. If you know the show Abbott Elementary School, I believe that's what it's called, Abbott Elementary School. The writer of that show is an alum, is one of the alumni members of the school, CHAD. CHAD stands for Charter High School of Architecture and Design, because I told you I was really interested in drawing and trying to be an artist. I got into CHAD. I took a test. I had to draw a mannequin, And the whole purpose of that school is to teach you how to become an architect. I got into that school. I got into North Catholic, and I got into Roman. But my mom and dad didn't like the curriculum at Chad. And my dad didn't want me going to North Catholic for race reasons. For one, he didn't like the area because of the history with black people in Kensington. They used to run blacks out of there historically. Two, see, I would be mad at my dad at 13 for saying this because I was trying to be. I used to say this. I quoted from the movie. Remember the Titans? I quoted this from the movie. I said, "Dad, I don't have no people. I'm with everybody." That's what I told him. And remember the girlfriend was like, "Yeah, because they're younger now, and they have friends of all races." And I didn't have any friends, but like I said, I'm with everybody. But in all actuality, I just wanted to be around white people. I wanted the chick in there, and I wasn't even really thinking about that janitor. And let me just tell you again, I was not at 13. Like I said, I'm not masturbating at all. I'm not touching. I'm not watching porn. I'm not what do you call it? I'm not thinking about sex. I'm not having sex or anything. I'm still a virgin. The only thing that is different though, I'll tell you this, I was not watching porn, but being on YouTube, and I'm going to just tell this like this, I was watching videos that may be considered like sexually explicit. So an example of that is this, because I was this is actually this is how I'm introduced to girls online through YouTube. When I first, believe it or not, the first time I was on YouTube, I'm just gonna be honest, 2006, when I was like 11, I would type in videos. I wanted to see girls like giving each other wedgies on YouTube. I know that sounds so weird, but I found it turned me on. An 11-year-old boy is not, like, for one, is not going to know what to do with something like that, like what a grown man knows. Now, I can confidently tell you, I don't watch videos like that. I don't watch girls giving each other wedgies. I don't find that to be like arousing at all. Like, as a kid, yeah, but at 29, no. But at 11, I was watching like girls. I would type in like videos, and sometimes what I was really hoping, like I said, it wasn't really them giving each other wedgies. It was just seeing a girl's underwear, seeing her bare skin, her legs, her butt. That was what I was trying to see. Because when I would see it in cartoons, I would see it on TV. That's what I was beginning to understand. That was what it was arousing me, was not the wedgie, but just their legs, their butt, their bare skin. I'm trying to see that. So around this time on YouTube, I'm beginning to look at videos like that, but it's not sexual at all. So it's like I'm looking at videos on they have like little funny videos, like they're like people from high school recording each other doing those kind of things. And my brother actually found out about it. He's like, I know you be watching girls give each other wedgies on YouTube. Why you watch that stuff? And I really was caught off guard by it. Because like around this time, this is another comedian I'm gonna quote. You ever have to type in you ever had to delete your history on Google? Like, you ever type in Asian ass porn and you you gotta delete your history. So what I'm beginning to do is, every time, and this is becoming like an OCD trait in me, every time I use the computer to look at something like that, I'll delete my history, or I'll try to make sure it doesn't end up on my search anymore. Like, I'm learning on Google, oh, make this not appear on my search. But these are the kind of videos I'm watching, and like I said, I'm trying to, because I don't really want to look at hardcore pornography. That's just, I'm not interested in that at all at the time. I'm not interested in looking at porn. I'm not interested in looking at anything sexually explicit. But I want to see a girl's legs. I want to see a girl's butt. So you can say around 13. I am looking. I mean, I am trying to like get lucky and watch a movie where there's a scene where they undress or they show girls underwear or something. I'm hoping to like get lucky with a scene like that. Like, oh yeah, here's another crush for you. So Dakota Fanning is a crush of mine for 2 movies because I believe she's older than me, so I think this is okay at my age when I was 13 and 12. So, because let me just tell you, the stuff that was going on in my own home, I was uncomfortable looking at some of her movies because some of the themes that were in the movies were going on in my own house. Like, I had a crush on Dakota Fanning at 13. Only 13 and 14. Really 2008. Let me tell you this. First of all, I had a crush on her from 3 movies. First one, The Secret Life of Bees. We watched that in school. And I don't know what scene it was, but it was a scene where she had to sit on salt that her abusive father put on the floor, and she had to basically have her knees on it for the whole night, and it showed like the red bumps on her legs the next day. But what was I saying? It was a scene where her father chased her in the room, and it showed like her legs, and I wanted to watch that again, but this time not in the classroom. I wanted to watch it alone. So we had DirecTV, so I was able to watch it by myself. But I understand I didn't have it on DVD, so I had to make sure I had it on my alarm that it was on, and I would always have the door closed, and I would watch her with her legs. Now the second movie that I'm a fan of, not well certain scenes, no. So there's a movie called Hound Dog with Dakota Fanning. Now there is let me just say this. This movie had to be done like years before because she looks a lot younger in this movie. It was released in 2007. She does not look like she's 13. But I developed a crush on her around this time because her just her appearance, her characters that she plays when she was in I'm trying to watch all movies that involve her, but not really when she's too young. But Secret Life of Bees, it was Hound Dog, and it was one more movie. Because I didn't even mind. I kind of got turned on when she called the black guy a nigger in Hound Dog. She said the N word, and it's kind of weird, but I don't want to get into all that. But the rape scene in that movie, I did not find that like okay at all. I'm gonna be real honest now. So there was nudity in that movie. That's why I watched Hound Dog. And like I said, I think she was a little younger, but I had a crush on her. I guess it's okay because I was 13. She had to be like 11 or 12. But it was a lot of nudity in that movie where I would pretend to be the boy character. It was a scene where she was like looking at the boy's penis in the movie, and I would always pretend when I was asleep like I was the character, I was the boy in the movie because I liked her so much. But there was like a depiction of a rape scene. She wasn't raped in the movie. Like Dakota wasn't raped, but it was a depiction of a rape scene in the movie I could not like watch at all because it was just a little disturbing that they would depict like a rape scene with a child in a movie that's PG-13. If it was rated R, I would probably know better. But those were 2 movies that I would try to watch by myself with nobody in my room because It was just her overall appearance, her legs. I liked her a lot, but more in Secret Life of Bees. But that is a crush of mine. That year. And I'm gonna say this one more time. I know from it's contrary to a lot of the stuff I'm saying right now. It's very contrary because I wanted to give you a little spoiler alert because I don't hate myself at all. But let me just tell this for you. I know it sounds so weird that a lot of my crushes are women that don't look like me, that are not like they're not black women. Well, you're probably wondering, why aren't you going after white women? The reason why I never made any attempts. I made let me just because I don't want to really spoil the story, but let me just tell you presently the reason why I don't go outside of my race as of now, because anybody of any race can like another race. They can find another race attractive. But with me, I think that the fact that a lot of the women in my race that I went to school with weren't really nice to me, I'm just going off of whoever is the nicest, whoever's giving me attention. That's what I'm going off, or whatever I find attractive on TV. I'm not finding girls that look like me on TV. And if I do, they're not really portrayed in a good image. But with my nose and my lips and my skin, and just knowing the things that I do now, I'm not comfortable with it. Knowing my position in this country, and just knowing the things that I see on YouTube, like the comments that people say about black people, I won't really be comfortable doing it now. Because let me first explain this. I didn't look very different at 13 than I do now. But I have to understand, see, when I was younger and I had crushes on girls when I was 11 and 10, and they weren't in my race. They were white girls. My lips weren't really mentioned to me, like the size of my lips. They were pretty regular size. They were small size, like any kid's lips were. My nose wasn't really wide that I remember, and my skin wasn't really a problem. But there's this like stereotype that I can't ignore, and it's like, for one, it seems like all guys that get money in the NBA, all they do is date white women, have kids with them, marry white women. That's the first reason why. Two, I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm comfortable with my hair. I'm comfortable with my nose. I'm comfortable with everything. But by the comments that I see on here, I would feel a little uncomfortable kissing somebody who looks different than me because of, let me explain this. I'm a little uncomfortable because I don't really know what that person thinks deep down when they see my lips or my nose. I'm not really comfortable just knowing what people say about our features. Because if we were to get into a fight or we were to argue, what's the first thing you think they're going to say? Because you don't feel any kind of way when people of your own race say things. But I can't. But today, because like I said, I had a big crush on Dakota Fanning. My mom even knew about it, and surprisingly, she didn't make a big deal. She never just said, leave them white girls alone. You know what? She actually did. She actually did say, my simp ass cousin-in-law said that you better leave those snow bunnies alone. Because I'm not gonna lie, I had my cousin-in-law on my mom's side. He was a real mangina. Because anytime I would mention like white women, they were always saying how the minute that she calls you nigga, you're gonna wish you never dealt with her. My aunt told me that, and let me just throw this in here. She is the product of a interracial, not marriage, but my grandmother that I never met. It's been rumored that she had a baby with a white man, but she never knew her father. But she is the product of that very same relationship that she doesn't want me to get into. But I'm gonna end this. I may do one more.